It's a short, abridged version of today's show, but we will enjoy it. It's World Water Day, and we're celebrating all things liquid. We spoke about kidney disease earlier on. It has to do with also with water and excretion and the things that you need to eat, things you need not to eat. And we're now having a conversation that has to be had on their headlines. My guests are seated. Kofi Owusu-Hini is also known as Kofi Kapito. He's very resplendent in his cloth, and he's the CEO of Consumer Protection Agency. Kofi, good morning. Good to have you here. You're looking great, man.
Good morning, Cass.
Yeah, love it. Love the colors.
Thank you.
Yes, and Oscar Provençal, reminding me very much of J.J. Rawlings back in the day, the man who used to wear the smock with the shirt under, and is in a nice vibe. Give me a J.J. impression.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know how to do that.
That's exactly J.J. That's exactly how J.J. would do it. I wouldn't know how to do that.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
I didn't do that. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you a story that JJ himself said once. Said when he and Kufuor were having issues, right? President Kufuor, the two presidents were called by Archbishop Duncan Williams to see how he can bring them together. So after the meeting, the bishop said, "Oh, they should bow down their heads and, in prayer."
Of course.
Then JJ said, as he was praying, he opened his eyes and Kufuor hadn't closed his eyes. Then he said, "Hey, Kufuor."
Close your eyes.
Didn't you hear the man of God saying that we should bow down our heads and pray? Then Kufuor said, with a man like you standing next to me, I won't do that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Really good one. Yeah, we miss him. Yes, gentlemen, great way to start the day. But I'm not too happy because we shouldn't have water to look like one of the colors in my smoke. But unfortunately, because of Galamsey, we have water bodies that look like this. And I wish I could throw back to the time I went down to the River Pra to fetch this. Because, we're talking World Water Day, and we've been given all the warnings about how, at some point in time, if we don't take care, we will be buying water for our citizens, Because when they fetch this water, the water hasn't settled yet.
Yes.
Yeah. It has not settled yet. It's still the way it is. And it's pretty sad what we've done to our water bodies. It's crazy,
I guess it's now a national security issue because, as the adage goes, water is life.
Yes.
So this really digs deep into our survival as a people. And obviously we shouldn't get to the point where we have to import water. That would be bordering on the most ridiculous. So I think that this has to be a number one priority for all governments, including this one, is how we are going to address this issue regarding water. They say water is life, but all water is not drinkable. So this is water, all right. It's a broad, generic statement. But you and I know when you dig a borehole and the water comes out of it, you may have too much fluorine in it or fluoride in it and other heavy ions. So we should take it seriously. The issues regarding harvesting of water should be critical. We should make sure that the Volta Lake, which is the largest man-made lake in the world, that we see millions of gallons of water gush out into the salty sea, fresh water gush out into the salty sea. We've been talking about how we're going to use that water possibly to irrigate the Afram plains and provide the necessary food for the nation and all of that, and also protect our groundwater. So I don't know if the geologists, it's supposed to be the geologists who should be working on looking at our groundwater systems and making sure that they're also not being contaminated by the heavy metals and the mercury and all that from the Galamsey usage. So yes, for me it's a national security priority, and we should never take it for granted.
Kofi, what are your thoughts on the water and mining and life?
At this point, what is one to say? Nothing. The people that are supposed to be doing their job don't do their job. I cannot go and stand in the Weja Dam and say I'm going to clean the Weja Dam, or I'm going to stop somebody from winning sand. That will cause the Weja Dam or
Barakesi Dam?
No, Barakesi is in my area, at Chumangwe Bieja. I don't think they have issues that much at the Barry River, but it is getting there. You're talking about the Water Lake. Sometimes I don't know whether it's we don't care or we are lazy. In a sense that, like you said, the Water Lake is the one of the waters that if we need to drink it, it will be the one with the less treatment, because it doesn't have a lot of foreign or impurities that would it is very easy to treat it. I've had the privilege of some company to go and do an inspection at the pond water processing place. And if you see the amount of water, like he said, going back into the sea, we went there with some Israelis. They were angry because they say that most of the fight between them and the Palestinians is because of who controls the water. And here we have all this water, and the water is going back into the sea. Not too long ago, there was a man who was talking, I'll say what, maybe 20 years ago, Friends of the River Body.
Yes.
You remember that man? Nana
Jomo.
Nana Jomo.
Yes.
Do you hear him anymore? He's tired. Because Nana Jomo was knocking every door. They didn't listen to him. I saw him on a flight about 2 weeks ago going to Kumasi, and he said, Kofi, I'm tired. No,
Wow.
Because what is he going to do?
Nana is a serious crusader.
No, he's been a crusader.
Voice.
He was the voice.
Yes.
He was the voice.
He was the voice.
But because of the selfishness and the corrupt nature of some Ghanaians, they actually abandoned the man. And people that should have listened to him. Look, if the man at the Watergate is doing the Kululu, I don't have a problem. But the minister should listen. The president should listen. Council of State should listen. We all sat. The man for the past 20 years.
Even more. This man has been doing this for a long time.
Very long.
From the 90s.
So where is he?
Let's urge him to get back into the fray.
He's
because he
given up.
has a wealth of knowledge.
He says
and a
he's
wealth of
old.
experience.
He's old. And unfortunately, now with this thing in your hand, some small boy sitting somewhere will start insulting him. That is the problem.
Our beloved country.
In Ghana, you are endangered species if you speak the truth. You are the bad one. The criminals are being praised because they are building the houses and buying the big cars. And as the young boys will say, they are taking our girls. So,
Ladies and gents.
yeah, we are taking the girls away tonight. Kav, you see, when you look, what's his name? The president has asked the IGP to look at the allegation by Professor
Frimpong Boateng.
Frimpong Boateng.
Yes, indeed.
There's a saying that if the frog comes to tell you that the crocodile is dead, you should believe him, because he and the crocodile, they live in the water. I didn't say it. When the issue came, you remember one gentleman, something a wheezy?
Yes.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, we are not serious as a country. Where's the finance minister? He's in China
right now. Yeah.
looking for money. You think if the Chinese were abusing their systems, we would go to China and go and take money?
Actually, I just read.
Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
Do you know Kwame Nkrumah had so much money that he was giving money to other countries? He gave Guinea 10 million pounds Come Nkrumah. So how come now we go with the cup in hand, begging all over the world? We've been to Paris, it didn't work. We are now going to China. You've been to Washington, D.C. Come on, water. You sit aloof. Kav. Yeah. This one, we sat aloof. Oh.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't know what was going on. Yeah. Everybody, most people were included, most authorities, look, chiefs were included, government officials were also involved. The average Ghanaian who also wants to get rich is also involved. We pass laws and we don't look at the consequences. When I was a young boy, Obuasi, the word Galam say it's from Obuasi. It's nothing new that everybody is talking about it now. Yeah. You see, and Obuasi, they were not doing the damage that people are doing now.
And now it's crazy, you know.
It's crazy.
Because last year we did we just decided to follow the PRA up country, you know.
Yeah, so, you showed the diagrams.
And so we just followed it. We followed the PRA, and those are the communities it goes through, the adjoining rivers and tributaries that connect to it. We looked for blue. We found no blue. All we found was the gold that is in our flag, which is now in the water. I mean, this was, we searched, man. We searched. Yeah.
You remember there was even an issue between the Forestry Commission and that something Vanguard, the people who went
Operation Vanguard.
Yeah, there was a big fight between the Forestry Commission and them. You know, what are we doing to anybody asked to go and guide this water? The moment he gets there, he sees an opportunity to make money. He's not even guiding the water anymore. It's the money that he's going to make. That is what he's interested in. And that is the problem of Ghanaians. And that thing needs to stop. It starts with leadership. And I know Oscar is going to say, I'm not a leader, I beg you. In my house, I'm the head, I'm the leader. Why in my company, because you
why on earth did you do that time?
Because that is the way
are you a prophet now?
No, that's the way he always talks when I say
maybe he's changed.
Okay, then thank God this morning. Are you getting my point?
My God.
Look, Kav, you are supposed to be the host, right? If you don't show up, how can they blame the cameraman and the sound?
Yeah, the host must show up big time.
He must show up. So the leader must show up. And I mean, leaders are leaders who are put in charge. As I am in charge of my house. If I fail in my house, I've failed my family.
Big time.
I can't blame my family. If my child is doing all kinds of nonsense out there, that means I failed as a family, as a father.
Exactly.
I can't accuse you for my failure in my house. And that's what we've been doing. Oh, is the attitude now? No. I keep telling people, God in his own wisdom realized that if he doesn't sack Lucifer from heaven, Lucifer will contaminate or corrupt all the angels in heaven. So God sacked Lucifer. What is wrong with the Ghanaian that we can't sack people? That I don't understand. We are afraid to sack people. And then they say, oh, if you sack him, what is he going to chop with his wife and children? The man is a thief. And last, the politician will say, witch hunting. Then Samia Uku said, if you are a witch, you should be haunted. Time has come. Let's call the spade and stop calling it a digging fork. It's a spade. That is the problem. And that is the bane. You see, Kav, you know, you sent me this issue on ECG. Okay. Then I went into it. Then I saw that even the person who printed the first thing didn't do too well by the headlines. Okay. I support the new director of ECG Dubik, Mohammed. He should go after everybody that owes ECG. Look, ask the people from 10 Downing Street, White House, all the government, big houses outside. Ask them if they don't pay their utility bills. Only in Ghana, they don't pay. Ministries don't pay. MMDH, they don't pay. So how do you expect the ECG to work? When we brought in PDS, and this is where I have a problem with Ghanaians who are in charge. Do you know we guaranteed and made sure that PDS was able to collect revenue? That's why in the shortest time, they were showing a lot of money. Why can't we do the same for ECG? Ghana Airport Company owes ECG. Ghana Airport, Oscar, if you and I travel abroad, do you know you pay $100 on your ticket for Ghana Airport? So what are they, according to their data, now that is even low. Now 100,000 people came in last year. 900,000 times $100, how much is it? Why can't you pay your electricity bill? We should stop this thing. We kill our own, and then we go and import, and we think the importation is better. Other countries, we went to Uganda with this PDS thing. Oscar, even before we started it wrongly. The day before we were going, it was a Millennium Challenge that Compact 2 that was going to give us that money, 540 million or 400 something. Kav, when we went for the meeting at the MEDA headquarters, then the white lady, young lady from the World Bank said, oh, by the way, per the State Department's policy, no government official travels business class.
You mentioned this.
You told us the story, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So they had those policies, and then
but we are going to beg them to give us 500 and something million.
You want to go in style.
And this is preposterous. And we won't travel to India in economy. Kav, when we got to the airport the next day, 2 MPP MPs, 2 NDC MPs, ECG officials, board members, co-minini. You know, they had business class tickets.
One day.
The lady who was leading us, the white girl, sat next to me and in economy. He asked me, why are your people serious? When we got there, the chief director told us that, look, we found a solution to the problems that government is not paying their bills. He said, you know what? Every institution, government institutions, prepares its budget with utilities in it. But because they know the electricity company is government, they won't pay. They will use that money for workshops, for co-minini. Then government will say, don't worry. He said he decided that ECG, the one in Uganda, if any ministry owes, even including my ministry, take the light out. He said when they started doing that, the institutions are not paying their bills.
Yeah. Similar thing happened. People have been paying their money seriously.
Yeah, now they are paying because there's a tax force.
Yeah.
That if you don't pay, they will take you out.
Yeah.
Finance ministry, they've paid. Government agencies are paying. If you go to the universities, students are charged with electricity. So how come the universities don't want to pay?
Good questions. Lots of questions that Kofi is asking here, and rightly so, because he heads up the Consumer Protection Agency. And
and the sad thing is, if they don't pay, ECG would put it down as a loss.
Exactly.
And then they will come and go through PRC to go and ask for
more money.
I mean, why?
It doesn't make sense. Oscar, your bite on the issues. I mean, World Water Day. Hey.
I mean, I'm 100% with my.
Thank you.
I don't know why on earth he thought that I wouldn't be, but
it's yesterday, and I'm very happy.
He's still jabbing you.
He's still jabbing. But I'll do what Azuma does best: a bobbing and a weaving. So I will dodge his blows.
Yeah, Azuma does it.
You're absolutely right, and for that, I think that for what ECG is doing gives me a glimpse of hope, in the sense that they are embarking on what my brother is trying to put across, is that the systems must work. And so if only they will continue in that manner and not succumb to some powers that we don't see.
It is called order from above.
From above. Then I think that they're in the right direction. We saw this with the Greater Accra Regional Minister in his quest to get Accra, in order.
They started, I think yesterday, they
demolished some one or two places, but they slowed down considerably. And obviously, there are pressures like that at play. But I think that we take this democracy for granted. If you don't fight for your rights, nobody will fight for you. And if you look at the democracies in America and in Britain, it is civil society that fought for their rights. Many lost their lives. I mean, how long ago was it in America that women were not allowed to vote? Blacks were not allowed to vote. They weren't allowed to sit in the same vehicles or same places as whites.
Even restaurants.
And restaurants. They had to go through the back, and they had a sign. Dogs allowed, whites and dogs allowed, blacks at the back. And they're still grappling with these things. But it is civil society, we the people. And this is it. We must give that pressure. And I believe that, at least for what I have seen in the last year or so, there has been a major ramp up in that direction, which have yielded some results and less others. This must continue. I mean, they are there not as our lords and masters, they are there as our servants. They are there to serve the people of Ghana. And so we must find our voice. And that's why I think Kofi and myself and many others who sit on this platform are trying to do. None of us can claim that it's an individual voice that has caused the shift. It is the collective voices. And of course, I mean, when you even go to Parliament, when they cast for a vote, sometimes with the voice count, those who say, I say what? And they shout the loudest.
I don't like that system. They should vote. The mechanism is there.
Absolutely.
The button is there. Vote and show your record.
You can do electronic
It is
voting.
there already.
So what I'm basically saying is this: Ghanaians, it is up to us. Nothing more, nothing less, and we should step up to the plate. And of course, there are so many tools that they can use. I mean, the power of the state. The fear that Ghanaians have talking truth to power is real. It's not that it's not real. It's real.
Because you were raised that way.
It's real. And it's not imagined. Trust me. I don't think that when you look at the Anas Ajapong case, you can see it play out in a very major way. And so we all have to be courageous. Be bold. Remember where that came from?
Mrs. Rawlings. That's what it says, the slogan.
Be bold.
In the Funka Games.
But I believe that President Nana Addo himself also used that terminology, that we should be bold. And I think for somebody
he said he's going to use the Anas principle.
Well, you see, I think that anybody who champions democracy or has believed in democracy, I would be very surprised if President Akufo-Addo was not in his democratic mind smiling at what is happening in Ghana, despite the issue. When I say smiling in the sense that the people are standing up. If he is truly democratic, and I believe that somewhere in there he is, he must be quite happy that Ghanaians are responding this way, and likewise many other democratic-minded thinking people. So we should continue. And that is the only way we're going to get results. Media has made major results with issues regarding pressurizing government to do the right thing.
But they are still complaining.
We will always
Ghanaians
have never stopped complaining.
No, but what is going on? No, it's not. It's not.
No,
Look,
we
even
will
in the
co-
best country,
Kofi, we
people
will-
still have issues, but the issues are minimum. This country is plenty. Let's, like I
Yes,
said,
so
it's
we
plenty.
we need to be pragmatic.
Okay.
My point here is that we need to be pragmatic,
All right.
and move forward.
Okay.
And keep on urging people to speak out and speak out in the right manner. Look, we can sit here and talk all we want to talk. The question will be, are people listening, and are they retaining what we are saying? If you come and speak here in a certain manner, that it goes in, goes out, nobody remembers the clutter that you've said, work done zero. It's a communication issue. So we should find a way, as well, in the social media, in the social space as we are now today, is how to communicate to our fellow Ghanaians so that they listen and so that they take in what we say, and also get our duty bearers to also do likewise. And I think that is a major hallmark of communicating. Otherwise, we're just making noise in the air and sounding like empty gongs.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts on this particular issue. We went from water to power, but it's all good. There are issues that are on people's minds. Just a little water note. So between the time we started this show and now, according to the statistics, 2 people in Ghana have died from wash diseases. Wash diseases are diseases linked to water, sanitation, and hygiene. So 1 person every hour dies in Ghana from wash issues. It has to do with, it's linked to toilet facilities, open defecation, sanitation issues, cholera. There's a piece, back page of today's Ghanaian Times. A lot of times, the good news is on the back page. The really important stuff is on the back page.
Yes.
And it's there. 1 person dies every hour. I did the calculations. 24 hours times 365 days. That's 8,760 people dying from preventable stuff. Preventable
That's
stuff.
from UNICEF,
Yeah.
and not from
No,
Ghana.
this is Ghana. In Ghana, So these are statistics from UNICEF on Ghana.
On Ghana.
Yeah. So one every hour. By the end of today, 24 people have died. We need to get our stuff together. We need to get our public health, public education awareness. I mean,
Absolutely.
we should not be doing open defecation in the 21st century. I mean, free range should be just gone, man. It should just be gone. It has to be gone.
Careful.
Yeah.
Somebody built a house.
Yeah.
He has a toilet. Now in Ghana, because of greed, he will convert the toilet into a room and rent it out. And meanwhile, the assemblies are sitting down. You cannot build any facility without a toilet. And that is the law. Oscar, the question I keep asking, what are the assemblies doing? We've all seen assemblies work before as a young man. We've had public toilets. So the first WC toilet that was built in Kumasi was built in Asafo, opposite Asafo Market. When I was a kid, you see, I have a problem when we are behaving as if Ghana just got independence 66 years. And we are doing this to ourselves. Rather, Ghana moving forward, we are marking time. Wherever that we got to, we are there. We don't want to move on. Look, when these things came, I said, hooray. Now with this electronic and all this ICT, whatever, it would encourage the growth of Ghana. It has in some way, but not the way it should. When you look at young people in other jurisdictions using social media to mobilize and seek for change in their interest, here in Ghana, most of the youth use social media to insult. It's become like some joke thing. You'll be there, and then somebody will send you some joke. You know, if you put me on any platform, when you say one of those things, I will delete myself. I want serious business. I want Ghana to grow. If I want to be entertained, I will go and watch a concert or a comedian. You see, we should know that certain things has to change by now. You talk about the regional minister, big boy, what's his name?
Mr. Henry Quartey.
Henry Quartey. Look at the way he started. Do you think if everybody in Accra, or most people in Accra, came out to tell whoever that is making his work difficult, back off. The person won't do it. I heard him on one of the interviews with Kwamsi Fakai, and he was complaining that he's being somehow not allowed to do his job. So why are we paying people to do a job, and when they are doing the job, we tell them that don't do the job? It's just like a police or a policeman who is doing his traffic duty, and somebody says, because he has stopped somebody who claims he's a big man. If you're a big man, you should know that you should do big things. You don't do small things for the police to arrest you. That is the problem. Here, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? We had a whole member of parliament. It wasn't even him driving. It was his driver who was stopped. What has happened to that MP? In other jurisdictions, that MP will lose his seat just like that. You go and pass a law for me to obey the law, and you don't want to obey your own law. The law that you pass for me. See, we are not a serious country. And what annoys me is when we travel, hey, Bruni, the Wayadio, hey, Bruni Kromefo, hey, the white man, he's wonderful. The white man is this. The same brain in your head. Now, luckily, we sit in the same classrooms with them. Not the days that they would tell us, go through the back. Now, we all go through the front door. And you can't do better. If you can't do better than him, do exactly what he's doing.
All right. Those are strong admonitions from Oscar, and of course Oscar from Kofi. And Oscar also has put his 2 cents forth as far as the issues are concerned. I would love to hear from you. 055-556-1034. Let me just dive to the Times, because I don't know whether you've seen this, but 5 people have been jailed, a total of 25 years. These are the alleged secessionists. I don't know why Times has put it in inverted commas, but they've been jailed 25 years. The Homeland Study case. 5 people belonging to this Homeland Study group who wanted to carve out the Volta and Oti regions from Ghana in 2020, were yesterday sentenced to a total of 25 years imprisonment and hard labor by the Accra High Court. Each of them was handed 5 years jail term by the court presided over by Justice Mami Ekwe Yanzua. So the names of the convicts are Ebenezer Glokpo, Afetogbo Bogo, Joseph Nyamawu, Wisdom Kuvo, and Besa Peho. They were all charged with attending meetings contrary to Section 2(1)B of SMCD 20 and making contributions to the funds of a prohibited organization contrary to Section 2(1)G of DMD 20. Accused of participating in the campaign of prohibited organization contrary to the relevant section, it's in the Ghanaian Times. And on March 16, the court found them guilty for the offenses and deferred sentencing to yesterday. And so they're going to go in for 5 years each. I'll give you some background of that. So the Western Togoland Restoration Front is an offshoot of the Homeland Study Group established by Michael Koku Kwabla alias Togbe Yesu. And they wanted to use force to take out the Volta and Oti regions from Ghana to form a new state to be called Western Togoland. They planned to block roads that led from the Volta region to Accra, that led to Volta region from Accra with sand and with burning ties. And that in 2020, September 25, at dawn, they set the plans in motion. They divided themselves into groups. One group blocked the Avayime road from Accra with strips of sand and burning tires. The other groups attacked Avayime and Mefe police stations, wielding guns, other weapons. They used them to overpower the policemen. The convicts freed inmates of the cells, broke into the armory of the station, stole arms and ammunition, including 13 AK-47s, 2 pistols, 5 pump-action guns. Then they also took 1 shotgun, 2 Mark III guns, 1 Mark IV gun, 3 SMG rifles, 11 rubber bullets, 25 rounds of 37mm tear gas cartridges, and about 300 rounds of AK-47 bullets. So they stole a police patrol vehicle. They gave the vehicle number, attacked the barracks, made away with money and other items belonging to the police residents and their families. Police team was sent from Sokope to restore calm at Avayime and Mefe. When they reached Avayime, they were also attacked by the Western Togoland Restoration Front. And in the issues that happened, 3 police officers were injured, and their leader, Chief Superintendent Dennis Fiakwi, was shot. So a bit of background there. And so you can see pictures of them being taken out of court. and they've been sentenced 5 years each. Oscar, what's your thought on this? What's your opinions?
Very simple. Should be nipped in the bud. Completely uprooted. I mean, Ghana is a peaceful country relatively. This is something that is would basically turn us inside out. I'm sure there would be some sort of civil war that would break out of this. This secessionist idea, as far as I'm concerned, it does not bode very well for this country. It reminds me of issues regarding Boko Haram and things like that. And when you listen to your narrative just now about how they broke into the police station and all of that, and AK-47s in the hands of... I'm sure that if this had been in the earlier years of BNDC, 5 years would not have happened. Not at all.
My PNDC also brought guns to take us.
Well,
if you're talking about guns, they also brought guns to come and scare Ghanaians.
Kofi.
I'm just saying.
You,
Yeah.
Okay. But my point is this. It's 25 years each or 5 years each?
5 years each.
Well, hopefully it's deterrent enough. But yeah, we should not never entertain such things in this country, whether it's in the Volta region or anywhere else in this country. Ghana is Ghana as it is, and I hope and pray that we do not move in that direction. And you see these guys. Somebody must be sitting down there somewhere behind the scenes manipulating them. And I can't speak for sure, but that's what happens most of the time. You see the invisible hands somewhere, somewhere dangling in the back. I hope that they find those invisible hands and deal with them as well. And that's all I have to say, really.
Okay.
But we should take our security very, very seriously.
When you started, I was wondering, was it a crime to form an association or have meetings to have a common, ideas? And then you went into the details. Then I realized that, this is not just people who are gathering just to have
meeting.
Some
Coffee and
coffee
biscuits.
and biscuits, and no. You cannot seize anybody from forming an association. But after going, what I can say is, look, you have the right to protest and all that. The way if they blocked the roads and they were burning the ties, it would have been a problem for me. But going into the police station, doing what they did,
That's an attack on security. Yeah.
that's a crime. That's a crime. Okay, attacking public property. The police station belongs to the people of Ghana.
Big time.
Big time. So, on that note, I'm sure maybe they have, this was the High Court, right?
This was indeed the Accra High Court.
Yeah, so they can go for appeal if they feel, and then even go to the Supreme Court. But I don't have much to say after hearing the details as to what they did later. The beginning, I was trying to say, why is it a crime for us to have our own organization? But you don't organize to go and do chaos, Like I was expecting you ask me my cloth.
I know these cloths have meanings. I'm not sure about the modern ones, but the old ones have.
Yeah, but you see, at the Ashantis, we have 4 cloths. We have the kente, which is supposed to be for high society. That shows that you have come or you've reached. Then we have the entubafufu, or the black and white,
Yes.
which is also woven. That one can be used as for mourning and also celebration.
Yes, black and white.
Black and white.
Old age.
Then we have the kuntunkuni,
The black one.
which is the black one.
Dark black. Dark.
When people die in Ashanti, before the funeral itself, that's what you wear till the funeral day. And this one is called kobene, which is the red one. The red one is worn when you sit to do the funeral by family members and friends who are closer. So when you go to a funeral in Ashanti or any Akan area, and you see people wearing this red type, that means they are the family or closest family friends. So I can't wear this like Kente, because this you can't wear it every day.
Yes.
I can't wear the community the kuntunkuni unless I am bereaved. Okay, but the black and white I can wear it to church on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, and the Kente, when I want to show that I'm rich, I wear my Kente.
They wear Kente. So you can wear the black and white also for like an outdooring.
Outdooring, naming ceremonies and all those things.
Okay.
So it's used, and then you can wear it the Sunday
After someone has been buried.
Yes.
Okay, so that one is more commonly worn. The black and
Very,
white.
very much.
Yeah.
Very, very much. And the Kente is worn occasionally.
Yeah.
You know.
So on your birthday, what would you wear?
On the birthday,
If you wanted to wear cloth.
I wear the black and white.
Black and white. Okay. All right.
That's what I wear.
And then the Kente would wear when you're going to like a big. If you're going to see
The Kente, I won't wear Kente on my birthday.
If you're going to see Otunfo, what would you wear?
Even there are different cloths that you wear to go and see Otunfo. But once it's sitting as the Akwesi there, as we saw just last weekend, then it's Kente.
It's Kente.
You know. But there are times that you cannot wear Kente to the palace because it's not time for you to wear Kente. Yes.
And this is just wonderful communication. So that what you wear and the colors signifies it's talking.
Yes,
the cloth is talking to you.
It's very much. And we have all kinds of, symbols. And one interesting thing is, the king's cloth is one of a kind.
It's woven just for him.
Nobody.
Okay. All right.
If you go to the palace wearing the same thing as the king, they will take your cloth away.
Why don't they go for the person who wove the cloth?
No,
because
you brought it to the palace.
it's like a challenge, right?
Yeah. You cannot wear the same cloth as him. And he has one weaver, and the weaver knows not to do it for anybody else. But now with this copycat that people are doing, as you mentioned earlier, so it's possible somebody must have seen the two voice Kente
and then had it.
So
So in the olden days, could the weaver have been executed for daring to weave a
no,
cloth
the
for
person
somebody
who
else?
brought the thing to the palace.
The immediate cause, eh?
One touch.
Straight up. I like it. They don't waste time at all. Messages coming up pretty soon. Let's just go through what the headlines are for us this morning. So as I said, the Times leads with 5 secessionists jailed 25 years. Government targets planting 10 million trees to mark Green Ghana Day. 1 person dies every hour in Ghana from wash diseases. The VIP and the ex-president Mahama and others attended the new Yabonwuras and Skimmet in Damongo, and we have pictures in today's Ghanaian Times. 2,000 communities nationwide to benefit from reading proficiency projects. That's something that is really close to my heart. I like that. That's good news. Daily Graphic, protecting the investor, SEC, that's the Securities and Exchange Commission, has moved to set up a fund. Don't be cowed into submission on your decisions. The president urges the Electoral Commission, after swearing in 3 new members, return Pokuasi land to Nidodu Clote family. The court has ordered the ACP estate. I'm always telling you the back page has some interesting stuff.
Wahala.
National Health Insurance Authority has received $5 million of support from the United States, and some APSU old boys, Augustine's Past Students Union, 98, have handed over $250,000 teacher's flat to the alma mater. Old school people doing the most for their schools. The find 50 died from 6,796 fires. Wow. From wash diseases to fires, everything seems to be conspiring against Ghanaians, man. Properties worth 64.9 million cedis destroyed in 2022 alone. President Mahama and Ernest Kobia have filed their nominations to be flag bearer of their party. The NIA, the National Identification Authority, says they'll be completing the printing of a backlog of Ghana cards in a week's time, on March 29th, the president's birthday. I guess it will be a gift to him from Professor Kenatefa, 541,000.
So they will finish printing?
They will finish printing the backlog.
Okay.
Of 541,000 plus cards on March 29th, which is exactly a week from today. Which of these stories have tickled your fancy, Oscar, before I get the messages?
There's one. Give me one of the papers. Sorry, I want to look at it. Yes.
really.
You're still thinking about the secessionists?
We still keep on repeating ourselves. I mean,
Which one?
These fires.
The fires, yeah.
These fires are perennial, whatever, all the time. We have issues with, especially with the one in Kumasi and the markets. And even the electrical wiring is.
Yeah, there was a big fire in Kumasi last week.
A lot of electrical wiring that is substandard that is being used, imported from certain countries. I won't mention them, but we all know. And Ghanaians, we like cheap things. So
I think human beings like cheap things, really.
well,
Nobody wants to pay more for what they would pay less.
when it comes to wiring your house, I think you should make sure you get the best wiring because you can die. I mean, it's as simple as that. And this issue of allowing people to cook in the market with gas and all kinds of things, these things have been going on. So when will people learn? When will those who are supposed to be monitoring and doing the M&E and all of that and the oversight responsibility? So we'll go back into the same old cycle of, and to me that is one of the stories which I wanted to touch. I haven't touched now. I don't know if you're going to touch it. Is this issue concerning the SONA, the State of the Nation's address by the president?
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, these things, the president does this, every year, and the opposition will come out and give the State of the Nation address, and I think they should stop all these games. I mean, Ghanaians know the state of the nation right now. You don't have to be told. I'm not talking about the president's.
Okay.
I'm talking about the responses.
What is supposed to?
Well, yes, but I think it's highly unnecessary where we are today. Nobody coming out to rehash everything we've heard for the past 6 months and years.
They didn't rehash what the president said. They've given their
and I'm saying what their responses are rehash stuff we've heard. We've heard it, and I don't see.
You think they shouldn't have done their?
What I am interested in today is for them to come and tell us what their solutions are, and that's for both parties. They're playing the political game. Shouldn't waste our time. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want them to waste my time telling me how we got here, where we are. We are here. We're in the now.
But did you listen to the address? Because they did propose solutions.
So I want to be clear that President Mahama came out and gave out what he would do. Yes? These are the things that we want to hear. Solutions. But you get on air and everything is about how we got here. Blame game. We are here. Let's find a way to get out of here, because if we don't, we're all going down. Every single one of us. When you're in the airplane and the airplane is coming to crash, you don't go to the pilot and ask him why the plane is crashing.
I'll ask him, can he do something about it?
What are you doing about it?
He says, get back to your seat and put on your seatbelt. And you are still asking him, and the plane is still going down. Allow the man to think and let it come on. No, so please, I mean, and you see, I think Ghanaians are very well informed today. If you look at even the youth population, which is apparently 60%, of the Ghanaian population is huge. They're going to play a major impact in elections going forward. They are one of the most informed generation.
The youth?
The youth of today.
I like your response, Kafu.
Informed does not mean they are not misinformed.
What are they informed about?
They have access to information.
Okay, now I can agree.
Yeah, I can agree with you. But the question is, are they using it?
Twerking women,
and all that,
and betting.
Beautiful, but we should not underestimate that. You see, and so I am seriously hoping that we will now start talking solutions because the ship is going down.
Talking of a ship, one went down actually over the weekend.
And helping it to go down,
And a lot of people,
is not, in my view,
lot of
very
people died.
sensible.
A lot of people died on that. I just want to jump on that. So a district court at Adan has remanded a boat operator whose canoe capsized at Azizanya in the Adan East district, leading to the death of 5 people. They've remanded this person into custody. That's the latest on it. It's today's Daily Graphic. The operator is called Gabriel Ajigodi. He's remanded for 2 weeks in police custody to enable the police to conduct further investigations into the accident. His plea was not taken. No charges and brief facts were read, in court as it's sitting yesterday. So families have been agitated, of course, because 5 people have died. And so they've decided to remand the man in police custody and have adjourned the case to April 5. So 5 people lost their lives, including 3 children, in a Volta Lake accident after the canoe they were traveling in capsized at Azizanya in the Adan East. So they were traveling from Azizanya to Azizakpe, an overbank community, for a funeral when the accident occurred. None of the passengers had access to life jackets. So 3 out of the 5 people who died, all children, have been buried. Adults are yet to be buried. So the Ghana Navy and Marine Police have also called off the rescue mission. At this point, can it be a rescue mission or it's a recovery mission?
It's a recovery.
If you collapse, if there's an accident over the weekend,
It's a recovery.
It's a recovery.
Yeah.
So I had a chat with the MP for.
I heard that.
My mind just shut down with her responses to the questions about safety, because she was waiting for the government to provide the boats with life jackets. And I was mute with rage. I couldn't believe that she was saying this. The government to provide boats with life jackets? What about the responsibility of when the accident happened, they didn't arrest the government. They arrested the boat operator. Because I think, in my layman's mind, every boat that is offering public transportation must have safety equipment for the public that you are serving with transportation. Every boat must have life jackets.
Maybe we should start asking government to provide us with fire extinguishers and triangles for our cars.
And while they're at it, why don't they even provide us with condoms? Yeah.
But they do, though.
Government doesn't give me a single condom. No government has given me a condom.
Maybe you haven't asked.
No, I'm not expecting
talking
government to give me a
about
condom.
NHIS, what's it called? The Ghana Health Services, they give free condoms.
But you're
In case you need some, I will take you
right.
to
People
see
should
some.
buy their own condoms.
in terms of
I agree with you.
we
We go and ask for aid for us to give us condoms.
So this disaster has happened. I've done. Look,
These disasters have been happening.
but it's not right, Oscar.
Of
It has
course
to end.
not.
And it can end if all these 40 people had life jackets. They would have floated when the canoe capsized. You know what happened? According to the MP, the guy was transporting pure water from one end to the end.
in
He
addition
decided
to the
add-
passengers.
He has decided to add the people to it.
Yes.
So now it became a
From what I
physics.
heard,
It became a
was
physics issue.
25 people, and there were
And
the
it was
boat was
40.
for 25.
Yeah, and then there were 40 people on.
plus
And
the water.
Plus the
pure
water.
water.
Oh, Lord,
Nobody
have
had a life jacket.
Because pure water
And people
is
are
very
perished.
heavy.
Very, very heavy.
Very, very,
Yeah.
very
So,
heavy
so,
in
so,
numbers.
Kofi, when does this end? I mean, why can't district assemblies enforce these things?
It is simple. Somebody.
How would you solve
not
this? How
doing
would you
their
solve
job.
this, Kofi?
It is mandatory. It's mandatory. You cannot operate
A boat
boat service
without life jackets.
without life jackets. You see, it's just like how I like what the DVLA and I don't know which other institution did. That now we are wearing seatbelts compulsory. And now if some of the cars did not even have seatbelts, now they've made them fit seatbelts in them.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. That's the way to go. Look, how many times are we going to lose people on the river? Okay, and nobody, look, they just arrest one man.
Yeah.
So what about the people that were supposed to, I think at least from a pier, right, when you are leaving, you just don't. There's a station.
Yeah, of course.
Just like a lorry
Yeah,
station
where you load.
Yeah, where you
Are
load.
you talking about canoe or you are talking about boat?
No, canoe and boat. They're
all vehicles.
Yeah. Canoes.
So when you're talking about the pier,
Yeah,
there's a pier.
No, they
There's a
do.
pier there. There's a pier there.
They do.
canoes move from
No. They go.
For the
There's a
public
station.
transport. These are not fishermen.
There's a station.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a station that they load people.
Yeah. It's like a jetty.
Yes,
You
the
walk on
jetty
it
people
and then-
come and then you walk on it and then people jump onto it. Okay, Kav, I don't want to sound too Ghanaian this morning. Because if I become too Ghanaian, I'll say things that I'm not supposed to be saying. Look, you mentioned that something that you're happy about, the reading thing.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. How many libraries are in Accra? If they are talking about encouraging communities, 2,000 communities, to read in Accra, how many libraries are open in Accra?
I remember the children's library around Osu Regal behind the Ghana Commercial Bank. I used to go to that library.
Yes.
And I actually went there recently.
Yes.
It's still operating.
Yes.
That's the one I know.
Okay.
There's another one on the High Street. There's another public library there. I know in Western Region, when I was in secondary, I used to go to a library in the secondary area.
Ask you about Accra. Don't go to Western Region. Ask you about
I shouldn't
Accra.
go far.
Don't go to.
Look, I'm asking my own question.
Let
You
me
said the
tell.
question.
Let me tell you something. I had a privilege to speak to the gentleman in charge of Ghana Library. I think there's okay. I did not understand. Do you know the Patrice Lumumba Road?
just before the Zenith Bank.
There's a children's library.
Really?
Yes, it's closed.
Nice. It's closed?
It's closed.
Oh, not nice.
Beautiful edifice.
Okay, but you see, my problem was that property, the value of that property, could have built 100 libraries.
That's airport residential.
The question is, airport residential area, every kid has an iPhone.
Or probably in a library, even at home.
No. They have now. They read those things, those reading books.
Yeah.
Yes.
On their phone.
So why don't you put it in Nima? Put it in Nima. Sell that property. It's on the Patrice Lumumba. Do you know how much that property will cost? But they built a children's library and it is closed. My sister has a business 2 doors away, and I go and I see the library is closed. Meanwhile, they have a director of that institute. When we called him, he was giving us all those fine stories. Typical Ghanaian story. It is in the pipeline. We are working on it very soon. Why can't we complete issues? Library, where? If you like, let the students call, or let them send messages and ask them where do they go and do reading. Do you know the library is supposed to be a safe haven for children?
Yep.
Yes. So if I'm a parent and I know you are not at home and you are in the library, I feel okay that he's in a safe place. Talk, Oscar.
Let me give you a pause so that we can read messages. 055-556-1034. All your questions on kidney and what to eat and all kinds of things, please, we will pass them on to Fozia. So we'll get all those to you. More messages are coming in on our... Listen, water is life. Please, people, we need more education about kidney disease. Of course, we're talking about water today. If the president has asked the IGP to investigate Dr. Frimpong Boateng, then I ask that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong should also be questioned as such. Okay, that's a question they're coming in from. Ni Adiko. Efo Kafui. I'm surprised that the whole revenue-generated company are not ready to pay bills. Then the country needs more education exercises on reasons for paying bills and revenue. Individuals are paying. How much more companies? Our uncles on the panel are doing quite well. Yeah, Uncle Oscar, Uncle Kofi, your nephew is shouting you out. We have a Council of State. We have think tanks that deploy political strategies. We have state ministers. We have what it takes to develop our nation economically without the aid or assistance of the IMF or any foreign financial hub. I just heard today in the news that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have a building that is being built by the Chinese. Yeah, it's a multi-million-dollar building.
But the first one too was built by the
Chinese as well. So it's just
it's a continuation.
Part two, yeah. Jubilee House was built by the Indians.
By the Indians.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Ashesi was built by Ghanaians.
Meanwhile, have
job.
you seen the Echo? Is it Echo Bank? The Echo Bank
In
headquarters.
Ghana, Accra.
Yeah,
yes,
on the one on the
going to the National Theatre.
Yeah, it was built by Ghanaians.
That we can do it.
Alisa Hotel, the new one.
Built by
in Tema.
Ghanaians. Yes,
Built by
that's
Ghanaians.
wonderful, swanky, really nice. You want an update on Ghana's IMF program? Well, the finance minister is still in China. Check out the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. You'll see the details. So these institutions owe these huge amounts of money, and ECG has been bullying, frustrating, and robbing poor individual Ghanaians. How did they allow themselves to be owed so much? Yep. And then the Homeland Security guys, these 5 guys did all that, and we're giving only 5 years each. That's a question there. Mickey Darling, the causes of our problems, you are doing more diagnosis, indiscipline, lawlessness, and lack of disciplined leaders. And you think Kennedy Ajapong is your guy. He has to win the primaries first. Good morning. Any country that cannot even manage its sanitation is not a serious country. Ghana must work. Theophilus KB Leo, enjoying the discussion live from Asaman Kesi, believing that the youth of this country have to arise for positive change. Isaac Boache, you think the assemblies are there purposefully for the consumption of taxpayers' money. And the Western Togoland matter, is that the only solution to solve this matter by jailing them? What would you want them to do to these guys? Come again, brother. I reported to the CPA the conduct of some ISPs closing down operations without notice and refund of our data bundles purchased. To date, nothing heard. Consumer Protection Agency, somebody wants to find out what's happening with the ISPs who are not doing what they should be doing. Water is life. Every day is a day of something in Ghana and in the world. When will be a day of GTV? So we, your viewers, can join a live broadcast in your studios. Okay, good idea. A couple more and then we are done. In my country, free means pay later. How can you dump rubbish in the gutter and expect it later to drain properly? That's a good question. Mr. Kopito, what's the name of your traditional African dress on the show today? You told him. Tell him again.
It's called
Kobini.
Kobini, yes.
Kobini.
That is the real cloth.
All right. Okay. I believe we're done. I think I'll end with this one. My heart is really heavy, and I've been very sad since last Monday when you called the MP for Adan, for the people of Adan to have her in Parliament. You're not really happy about that. You don't think that she should be the MP for that area. Well, you shouldn't wait for government to solve all your problems of your people. You're disappointed. If you're in the area, you know what to do. It's 2024. Vote, okay? Yeah, you've got to vote for the leaders that you deserve. Finally, you think Oscar likes making excuses for the president, the leader of the country? Oscar, how do you respond to people who say you are making excuses for the president?
Glass can be half empty or half full. It's
Okay.
up to you that's entirely up to you.
It's up to you. So Oscar is not too worried. This is
Not in the least.
the glass is half full or half empty. Depends on how you think about it. What are your final words? Kofi first, and then Oscar.
You know, I'm hoping that leaders would listen to the plight and the cries of Ghanaians and understand the reason why they are leaders is because we believe they can lead. And if all of us are not able to be parliamentarians, be president, all of us cannot become presidents. So if you are given the opportunity by the good people of Ghana, just do at least a quarter. I won't say do everything. Do a quarter of what your mandate is. If you see, and I don't know whether people are not giving description of their responsibility on the job.
So they should do it, and then things will get better. Oscar, you have just 10 seconds. 20 seconds.
10 seconds.
30 seconds.
Let me be selfish. Let me say happy birthday to my eldest son, John Provençal. John.
Okay.
How old is he?
28.
Nice.
And then
He's a man.
Let me say tomorrow, I'm also blessed to have my daughter graduating from the University of Ghana with a
Wonderful.
second degree up.
Proud daddy.
So I'm a
Proud
proud
daddies.
daddy. And
Proud
so
daddies.
I
I've
wish
seen
all of those who are graduating tomorrow and
yeah.
who have graduated since Tuesday the best of luck in life.
Another proud father, the father of the
come
lawyer.
and work hard for
Thank you
Ghana.
so much.
You should work hard for
That's
Ghana.
headlines, and that's our show. Thank you. My name is Kafri Day, Rit Cultural for the beads and the sandals. Thank you very much. Keep watching GTV. Breakfast weekdays 5 to 10, 6 to 10.